And we are rolling. Actually, we are rolling, not rolling. Rolling is elsewhere. But we are
Top
live.
left of the map, actually.
Yeah,
Oh,
top
yeah.
left.
There he is. I'll make him real big. The monster Roland appears.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
I
Boss
take
battle.
cover in a dwarf-crafted building.
You can't see me.
Ballsack. Welcome everybody back to In Hoc Signo Vinces, Vinces, Ventus, who knows? Someone might. It's not me. Anyways, welcome back to session. This is session, not welcome back to our session. But this is session 26. Oh, baby. Last time was crazy, but before we get to that, make sure you're caught up by watching our crazy last time at bit.ly/defectgaming. And if you're not caught up to that even, all the rest of our videos are there and in playlist forms. Ready to read. Watch, not read. It's been a long day of nothing, and apparently my brain is fried, so that's good.
Well, if they really wanted to, they could read the playlist. I just don't think it's as good.
That's true. So last time our group made it to Chrysos, where they found fire billowing from the top of the mighty plateau. Upon making it to the top, following the mostly abandoned side road, they found Templars roaming the streets, dragging people by chains to a center of town, or a town center. Nos, drink it. Get a heart attack. No. When they went to the town center and found two Templars leading a brigade of hangings, and over here we have a pile of labatis. And there was also three groups of chained commoners that were headed to the gallows themselves. The group quickly leapt into action, and after many moments, in-game, not long, but out of game, a good 3 hours or something of fighting, we're able to stop the Templars at this center point, at least. From there, we pick up today's game.
I retrieved my bow.
Yes, Far Traveler retrieves his bow.
I check up on my sister.
She is still your sister.
Okay.
I will go over to the corpses of the leaders and check them over.
Okay. So the two leaders are wearing full plate full plate armor today. Oh, give me a bit to get going. I apologize. Yes, full plate. And the one whose head was severed from her body has a Helm of Dread, which is a fun little cosmetic item that when you wear it, the eyes glow red. On their persons, they each have a set of notes, as well. No. That's all. They just have a set of notes.
Okay. I will take the sets of notes and also the crests that they were wearing.
Okay. Yes, they also
And then,
have the crests.
I'll just wait for somebody else to take the helmet because that's fairly gory. Jack wouldn't want to deal with that. And I'm sure people will figure out why here in a minute.
Alright, so when Thok checks up on his sister and makes sure he's okay, he's gonna walk over to the Blackguard lady and kind of loot the body along with Jecht. And can I recognize the logo?
Do a history check.
History, okay.
Go around the perimeter in an expanding circle of sweep with a
Okay,
rise.
it's another royal house, so I'm not sure if I would know them or not.
Right. That's why history. You're not sure.
Okay.
It's out of all your studies, which are decent enough for your lineage, because of your lineage, it's not something you recognize. Far Traveler, as you do a sweep, you do not find any more Templars roaming the streets. Are you searching houses at all, or just kind of combing through the streets as best you can in a circular pattern?
Streets will do for now.
Okay, yeah. As you roam the streets, there you don't find any people, and you don't of any sort. You don't find Templars. You don't find citizens. Everyone either seems to be hiding or gone. Though you can kind of determine by the fact that there wasn't a ginormous pile of bodies, unless most of this town isn't occupied. They're not all dead.
That's good news, at least.
Yeah.
So what do the champion? I'll start with the black guard. So the black guard has the helm of dread, right?
Yes.
Anything else?
Just a dark, pitch black suit of armor.
Okay. Would it fit me?
It might take a little bit of modifications, but most of it's done in leather straps, so it's not really a big deal. So yeah, you can definitely attach it to yourself. The armor does have the symbol on the chest piece,
Okay.
the house symbol, and then the pauldrons, the shoulder pads have Templar symbols. Oh, and
Okay.
both they will all have amulets. Actually, every single knight has one too.
Okay.
Ellie may be a grown woman and undead, but she still needs her butt changed once in a while.
Okay. I would like to drag the blackguard body over to the whole stack of Templar bodies and see what I can scavenge from it. So at this point, Doc is less afraid of Templars now that he's like killed
Battle
most of them.
hardened?
Here,
Yes,
I'll go. Just put everyone in the center here.
rather than also so as I'm dragging the body through, can I hear any signs of commotion or like any other combats that are within the city? Like how I want to know how many Templars are remaining in the city.
Okay, just go ahead and do a quick perception.
Okay.
All right, especially with the rain and the thunder, you're not really sure what's going on beyond too far away from you. Far Traveler has gone off on a little bit of a scouting mission to find out what's around. But by the sounds of it, there really isn't any sound or any commotion other than where you're at, and what you have near you is 3 lines of people kind of sniffling in the cold rain.
Okay. So I'm going to go over to Jack and say, "Do you think they could use a pick me up?"
I just kind of look at Thok. No, I kind of look through him, not really at him, just very, very quiet and distant.
Hey, what? You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. And then Jecht will go over. I will go over to the table that they were sitting at, the dark knight was sitting at, and see if there's any sort of paperwork or anything on there.
Yeah, the table. The table has a single book that, as you get to it, the pages seem to be alchemically enhanced so that they don't get wet and ruined by the rain, which is good for what's happening. And what you find on them is a list of names. And as it is open, it does display that to you immediately. Do you thumb through it at all?
Yes.
So the book is about halfway written through, and as you go through it, there are names on every page, as well as a little note if every once in a while if there's a notable person or if someone had something of value.
Hmm. I will pocket that as well, and then I will kind of head off into one of these buildings where it's a little dry and look over the notes that were on the bodies.
Okay. So you go into a building, and it's cold and it's dark. However, it is fairly clean. It seems to have been at one point a small shop. But it is dry. 1 second. So, let's do that. Okay, so you get to where you're a little drier, and you open the notes up, and the notes read, orders from the High Council. The Templars Inquisition Firebrand, Inquisitor's Firebrand, must be sent to Chrysos to cull their mage. What's the word?
The populace.
Helping. It's another word for helping.
Sympathizers.
Yes, mage sympathizers. As they have taken a stance to protect them, they have become treasonous under the eyes of the Templars.
And that's what both of them say.
Yes, it seems to be two sets of the same note.
Gotcha. Looking at and kind of glancing out and looking at the prisoners, like, disregard. All right, continue. I'll just kind of walk back out and rejoin the group.
I'd like to investigate the pile of bodies.
Okay.
I want to see if I can find my friends.
Okay. You start searching through the bodies. Yeah, good idea to roll that. And you don't really find anyone you recognize. Actually, yes, you find one person you do recognize. Do you remember the gal that you met on the road?
Uh-huh.
She's in there.
Son of a bitch.
Her body is not hung like the others, hanged like the others. It is run through, and it seems to have been in a fight for sure. One that she sorely lost. Far Traveler, around this time will allow you to return.
I will report that I haven't found any other Templars in the place, and we should probably help those people in chains.
Already ahead of you. So I would like to sheath my weapon and look as non-threatening as possible. Go over to each prisoner and undo their shackles.
Okay. It takes a little bit of time, but you go through them. They start helping each other out. There's a couple of keys that they can help use. Eventually, everyone is unchained. The most of the families that were caught together kind of huddle together for warmth and kind of look around, expecting some sort of what to do next.
I want to escort people to the largest building.
Okay.
Whatever building that would be. Just start getting people indoors, away from the rain.
Mm-hmm. So there's a small... Most of the buildings here are about the same size and they're not very large in general. So in comparison to what you kind of would expect, a small town hall type building with a lectern and some seating is nearby. Then you can escort them there, and they just kind of, at this point, with the shock and the what's happened, they kind of just follow as you guys are their saviors, pretty much.
I think I'll collect Templar amulets.
Okay. There is a lot.
Okay, so
14 of them.
Far Traveler did a sweep and didn't find any more Templars culling the city, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, once Thought gets rid of this, he's going to turn to the group of people and say, I am sorry for everything that they've done to you and to the city, to your families.
Thank you for saving us.
There, from what we can tell, there are no more Templars within the area. Hopefully soon within the entire city. I wish I knew the right thing to do, but I feel the good idea would be for you and any survivors to either leave the city and take refuge somewhere among the wilderness, or stay within the city and defend it with your lives. And I'm not sure who survived, but I think that life will find a way.
Kylan will lay a hand on Thok's shoulder and just listen in.
One of the oh, go ahead.
After Thox gets done talking, I will talk to the group and say, the reason why the Templars came here was because they were under the impression that you were sympathizers with mages. Is this true? And obviously they saw us sling in some spells, so hopefully I wouldn't feel threatened by answering that question.
One of the young men pipes up. We at Christos, we are neutral. We don't take part of this war. The war only exists on the other side of the woods.
Chrysos is burdened with the crime of compassion and fairness.
So, there's nobody that is actively helping mages in the city that you know of?
Oh, if someone is, it's their own personal deeds. It's not the city.
Thank you for your help.
If there's anything we can do, are there... I don't know if there are anyone else. There should be more than the pile there, but at the same time, yesterday there was another pile, and they have since been discarded.
Going on?
The hanging started yesterday. The Inquisitors arrived about 4 days ago.
I see.
At first, they claimed to be here to protect us from a threat, but slowly people started to disappear until we realized that we were being captured one by one to be led to slaughter.
How many do you think are left?
Well, there's us here. There's about there's 25 of us, and based on how many have been killed, probably another 100 at most.
This was once a great city, wasn't it?
Oh, it hasn't been a great city for a long time, but it was our city.
Kylan, can you heal these people?
I can do my best.
Reject, far traveler, and anyone else who is able-bodied and willing. I think we should go through the city and find any survivors and gather them here at the center. We can figure something out.
Jekt nods and agrees.
Far Traveler also nods.
I can help you. I've been trying to put my way into leading the city, and I guess this is as good as time as any.
What's your name?
James, Fredrickson.
James Fredrickson. Thank you. You are a brave man.
I am naive and young, but I'll accept the compliment.
Okay. And I would like to, with a team of people, in pairs of two, just in case they encounter more Templars, to do a scan through of the city and offer sanctuary to any families or people who are huddled together in their houses.
Okay. As you leave, James shakes his head in a moment of remembrance and goes, I just figured this. The Great Hall is below the city. It was once a dwarven, dwarven hall used for celebration. Perhaps we could convene there, and everyone would be at least together, and there's enough space for everyone.
Good. And then let us meet there. I also like to ask for directions on where it is.
Okay, there's one of these smaller buildings here. It's actually a stairway down.
Okay. Got it.
There are others throughout the city, but that is a good one to send people if they don't know where to go.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Do we want to check it out first before we start sending people undefended there?
That's a good point. And I would like to go into the building and investigate.
Follow.
Same.
As you enter the building, as stated, there is a stairway that leads down. It seems to be one of those that leads down a ways until it hits a place where it can tunnel a little bit. Do you go down the tunneling?
Yeah.
Okay. You head down the tunnel, and the sound of the storm fades behind you as you go deeper into the earth, this plateau.
Are there light sources?
There are none. There are sconces for torches, but there are no torches.
And there are no lit torches, or are there no torches at all?
They seem to have been removed at some point.
All right, I'll grab a torch out of my pack and light it for vision.
Okay. Okay.
Kylan will stay behind with the people and start attending to them.
Okay. Making sure those who are hurt are taken care of.
Yes. Listening to each of them speak what they will.
Okay. See how loud this is. 1 second. Oof. That was it. Okay. You head down into this this cavernous pathway, and you begin to hear the sound of ghostly whispers.
I whisper to Jack, do you have any more spells ready?
Hold on just a second. Very few.
I don't have any either. I'm also very wounded and needing of a rest at some point. Do you wish to come back here with our allies and see if we can, in case they are Templars hiding out down here, then we might be able to take them.
It might also behoove us to rest after such a fight.
Behoove us?
It might behoove.
Oh, like take a short rest?
Nor a long one if we can. Just.
Alright. So after hearing the whispers, we're going to head back upstairs, and I'm going to listen in to see if anyone's following us back up the stairs.
I actually am curious. Do I recognize any of the whispering?
Do a perception check. It's very quiet. Okay, that's pretty good. It's really hard to make out from where you're at. However, the whispers, you catch words like sanctuary and hearth.
I will rest a hand on both Doc's and Jack's shoulders and say, I will lead. We should investigate.
Okay.
Shoot a confused glance at Thok and then up at Far Traveler, seeing
Okay.
just the underside of his jaw. All right, guess.
I'll draw my rapier and shield in a casual stance and lead towards where it's coming from.
Same.
You'll draw my rapier and my shield?
I'm going to draw my greatsword,
Aha.
and then just kind of hold it low.
I will. How wide is the passage?
It's 15 feet.
I'll walk beside Far Traveler with the torch held forward.
Okay. As you walk farther into this cavern, the whispers get a little louder, and you're able to pick up things like "Welcome to the Hearth" and "The Sanctuary of the Dwarf King."
Is this
It's
in common or dwarvish?
dwarvish.
So I can. Okay, I can understand that.
Okay.
I cannot understand that.
Yeah, so it is. I was going to ask, and then someone, Far Traveler, said he spoke it, so I forgot to ask. Yeah, as you got, it's almost a song, like a dwarvish song being, which is almost all dwarvish songs are drinking songs. However, this one seems a little more like a song to lament resting, a hymn type of thing. Yeah.
Taking note that it's a song, I will visibly relax more as I proceed.
As you do approach deeper into this cavern, it sounds almost, it's instead of just one voice, it sounds like almost a whole chorus with one definitely deeper lead vocal. And shortly after hearing the different voices, you emerge into a great hall with pillars lining both sides of this carved out dwarven structure, with a great stone table, which by the looks of it could sit at least 500 people at. Some tunneling leads away from the hall off to the sides, probably to quarters or kitchens, and at the end is a secondary table, which is like a high table raised up a good 5-10 feet, which has at the center 2 thrones. In one throne sits the ghostly image of a dwarven king. You can tell this by his crown that spikes above his head a good foot, encrusted with ghostly jewels that seem to gleam in the torchlight.
I will sheathe my rapier at that point.
It's also
Sheath
worth
my
noting
sword.
that with torch not even being that bright, you wouldn't think it to illuminate the whole thing. It seems to magically reflect off the natural stonework to give a. It's still dim, but enough of a glow that you can see all of this without dark vision.
Alright, so I'm going to say, well, they don't look like Templars, and they don't look hostile.
Currently, you only see the one sitting at his throne.
Is there a source of the chorus?
The chorus seems to ring from the halls itself.
Okay.
It's not loud or disruptive, it's just a nice, calming background noise.
Is there decorum for greeting a dwarven king in this setting?
Approaching proudly to show that you're not you don't feel yourself low is pretty accustomed, and then giving a quick bow, and then just talking normally.
I will say over my shoulder to the other two, approach, stand tall.
I walk on my tippy toes.
Not that tall, fool.
Oh, okay.
I'll follow Far Traveler's lead.
Yeah, I'll walk up to approximately the point, see if the king notices me.
Okay. So as you approach to about 10 feet before the platform starts to raise, which it does have some steps. I mean, they're dwarves, not giants. They need to get up that high with steps. About 10 feet before that, the kingly figure does take notice of you.
I will greet him.
Greetings, travelers. I am King Auric.
Do you wanna write that down for me real quick?
Does he say that in Dwarvish?
Yes.
Okay.
Auric, I thought he was a dwarf.
Does that mean anything to me?
I didn't catch that reference. The name? Do a history check.
ORC, man.
Orc.
Oh.
And then was that a history that you were?
Yep. Anyone can do a history as long as they understand.
I can't.
Or even less.
Yeah. Upon you not understanding, he gives orcs in common. He says this. King Auric is what I said. You may do a history now if you wish.
Hey guys, what's he saying?
He literally
just said.
He noticed
In
you
common.
didn't understand and then changed to common.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I will do a history check now.
Please tell me he gets even less. Come
I'm
on.
probably gonna get less. I'm proficient with it, but it doesn't mean
No,
much.
it's not a stealth check. It's okay.
Oh,
Auric doesn't ring any bells.
yep, nope, no idea. So who are you, Auric?
I'm going to elbow Thok in the shoulders, in the ribs rather, and say, "Greetings, King Auric. I am still Far Traveler Wikvaya. These are my companions."
I will introduce myself the same.
I am Thok Atreides.
Eject Firebrand.
Wait, you are... And Thok just kind of like goes very stiff, and then silent, and then just waits for the king for a response.
The king says, I am the lord of these halls. The name once rang from these in great grandeur. However, the name has long since been forgotten. You may call it Urdim.
Can you write that down, please?
Yep. Urdim has always been the home of those who protect the weak. And I know of your exploits from above, and I grant you and them sanctuary.
My thanks.
Thank you, King.
Thank you, Your Highness.
So, when you grant sanctuary to those in need, what does that entail? Are there defense mechanisms in place to protect those within?
You can say that. Do you hear the singing from my
Yes, I do.
halls? Those are
Sounds
my
very pretty.
people from a long, long time since past. We bury our dead here, and the dead protects.
It's very poetic. Wait, Far Traveler, you use similar type skills, right?
Yes.
Well,
Was there something that you wanted to say about that?
no.
Okay.
So, King Auric, there are hundreds above that are seeking sanctuary within your halls that have been. They are survivors of the culling of the Templars. You grant them sanctuary?
I did say I did, so
That's
I will stick to my spoken word.
All right, guys, let's go and gather them up and bring them down here.
I give Thok a nod.
And I'm gonna like quickly make eye contact with Jack, and then quickly look away, and then just kind of try to avoid his face for a little bit. And as we're walking back to the surface,
I'm gonna address the king and say we will be back shortly.
I await your return and your stories.
I gave a quick bow and then walk. And I said, "Far Traveler, go on ahead for a little bit. I'm gonna have a talk, real quick."
I give Thok a blank look and reach out a hand to Jack.
I will see what he needs.
I need the torch if I'm going
Oh.
ahead.
Here, and I'll pull out another and light it and hand him that one.
Thank you. I'll take that and proceed.
So, as Far Traveler is far enough ahead that he's without of earshot, I'm going to walk along with Jekt quietly and say, "You are Jekt Firebrand."
That's my family name.
What do I? So Thok already rolled history and doesn't know anything about the Firebrands, do they?
You didn't know anything about the symbol. The name Firebrand might be something else, though.
Okay. Do I have to roll for that?
Yep.
Okay. Ooh.
So,
character development.
especially with your connection to the history, this isn't actually too difficult of a check for you. The firebrand name meant very little. It was a very commonplace name for a long time. However, shortly after the war, excuse me, the firebrands did the first inquisition of mages on their own, and was actually able to drive out quite a bit of magic users and take them out, kill them even, thus giving them the recognition of the Templars. Oh, they drove them out from their hometown. And there was something else that they did that was, it's kind of obscure and you're kind of remembering it. Something about giving away someone to the Templars, someone important. And in doing this, they got a prestigious name, and they were given a new symbol for their house. The House Firebrand was given a new symbol by the Templars. You've never seen the symbol, though you're kind of putting two and two together, and it's probably the one that was on the breastplate, or yeah, the breast piece of the plate above.
And with knowing that,
Sorry.
knowing that Thok gives a look object of awe and shame and connection, and he says, "So you are Ject Firebrand. You are the son of Inquisitors Firebrand, and I just killed them."
At one time, yes, I was their son. But it was my grandfather who was more my parental figure.
I can understand that. Were you born as a mage, or was it gifted to you?
It seemed that my powers started to manifest when I was very, very young, but I don't think that they noticed right away. It was my grandfather who first saw the signs and kind of took me in and separated me from that part of the family.
Probably a good thing. You're lucky that you weren't discovered until later, unlike my sister.
So you never really told me what happened to
So my sister?
Mm-hmm.
I suppose you deserve to know now. Once, when I was young, me and my sister were inseparable, and she was everything to me. We were a family back then, and one day we were playing out in the gardens, and her hands started glowing, and I, knowing what little I knew about magic, knew it was a spell being cast, and she had no control over it, and I tried to hide it from my parents, but in doing so, it gave me this scar, and I take off a piece of my shoulder plate and show a long burn at the top right of Thok's back.
From that scar, would I be able to know like the type of spell and then hence what type of magic she was using, or is random spontaneously happening?
For something like this, you can definitely tell it's probably some sort of evocation magic dealing with fire, but to pinpoint it from just a scar is gonna be nigh impossible.
Okay.
There's a DC for nigh impossible.
There is, if you can hit 30, I'll give it to you.
I think that is impossible. Well, currently impossible.
So, naturally, my parents arrived and saw what she was. She was a mage, so they locked her up, and I would try to see her now and then because she was everything to me. But whenever they caught me, they, um, let's just say, they were not very forgiving.
I'm sorry to hear. I was never really around my parents. My grandfather, he knew what I was and tried to keep me away from them as much as he could.
Did you run away?
I was free to come and go, but I never really felt at home in my... It was my grandfather's cabin in the woods where I felt like I...
Did they know that you were a mage?
No.
What made you run away?
One day, I decided to walk into town and pick up a few supplies for my grandfather. A few Templar had come into town, and they had gotten a hold of this young girl that I'd known, but not very well. And they were accusing her of being a mage. And this is something that happened fairly regularly, but not that I had seen. I didn't think much about it until I understood that they were going to execute this young girl in the middle of town. And I couldn't let that happen. I ran forward and was grabbed by the Templars, and the leader of the group laughed and forced me to watch as they attempted to execute this girl, and there was nothing I could do. From deep down inside, there was a fire or a power that I couldn't stop, and the next thing I knew, I woke up in this crater, and most of that part of town was gone. The girl, the Templars, some of the people around.
Would Thok know about this event?
That'd be a different history check.
Okay. Sorry about that. Just give me a sec.
Oh, go for it.
It doesn't ring any bells.
Okay.
At the time, it's likely you were in the academy.
Okay, got it. What happened after that?
Well, after waking up and wandering around confused for a while, I thought that the town folks would be afraid of me, but they actually took me in and told me to rush to my grandfather's house where he was waiting for me with fresh clothes and a traveler's pouch. And he told me to run, and that's what I did. After I left, I heard the Templars breaking into his cabin, and all I could hear was his voice in my head telling me to run. And that's where I ran until I got to Stern. What was the name of the city?
Ishtin Barossa.
Ishtin Varosa, where I met all of you.
I remember the first time I met you, you were casting some kind of spell to get everyone's attention, I believe.
Yes. Originally, I was supposed to contact... was it Silas?
Yep.
Is that his
Silas.
name? I was originally supposed to contact a man named Silas, and I found that he was in your group and tried to get you away from him. Well, as you know, he didn't last too long, so now I'm just kind of stuck.
Well, you and I are in the same boat there, my friend.
Yeah, I suppose. At least you have one living parent. I kind of chuckle.
And when you chuckle, Thok's just kind of like gonna cringe and be like, "Ugh."
It was, and the laugh was kind of like the laugh from Final Fantasy X. That scene, like super well enforced, very uncomfortable.
Trying to make
Fox
a
gonna
joke.
like cringe and say, "Yeah, I do." Not sure what it's worth though.
Sorry,
you.
Thok, I was just trying to lighten the mood.
It's okay. It's alright. I'm good.
Yeah, my parents were never terrible to me, but it's like I didn't know them. But after I saw what they did to all the people in town, I couldn't let that go.
I'm sorry for what I did to them.
There's no way you could have known. Well, I mean, there was. You saw this symbol, but you didn't know my name. Never disregard.
You didn't recognize the symbol anyways.
I think they got what they kill innocent women and children.
Yeah.
I can't help but look upon the pile of bodies and believe that I would be in there if it was up to them.
Or my sister.
Or your sister, Thok. And I'll slap a hand on his shoulder as we walk through the tunnel to the entrance.
Right across the burn scar.
Well, I don't think you could feel it at a certain point.
Yeah.
Well, I
No, it's
mean,
been a few weeks.
you could just light your hand on fire and give him a brand new one.
Yeah.
Give one to match, yeah.
Everybody has to leave their mark on Thok.
I have.
Mine's just gonna be emotional scarring.
Jack, how about this? If your grandfather is alive, and we have the time to go find him and extract him of... You said that he had alchemy tattoos preventing him from using magic.
I believe that's what they were.
If we ever
Yes.
find a way to extract them from Vola, I'm sure we can extract them from him too.
Oh, that's if he is alive.
There's always hope.
Well, usually when the Templars capture, they don't last for long.
Well, my sister's alive, isn't she?
Barely.
But she is alive. Thanks to you.
Almost not thanks to me. So I recall a very awkward situation in a dungeon.
Fair. But you didn't
With-
kill her.
Dagger and some tears.
But you didn't.
Uh,
In the end, the fact is that you didn't.
I just wanted to let her go. She seemed like there was too much.
She'll thank you when we take care of her and bring her back to recovery.
I hope.
We will. There is hope in the future, my friend. Come on, let's gather up some people and count our losses and organize them some stuff. And I give Jack a big clasp on the arm and squeeze very hard.
And I'll kind of do a half-hearted smile and continue on.
Okay. Okay. Alright, Matt, we're done.
Okay. I was listening. Inspiration, if you guys don't have it. Far Traveler, you arrive to the surface, and there are a few people kind of cautiously walking towards the stairs. There seems to have been... There's a stigma going around about what's down there. But they kind of are willing to believe anything at this point, and are cautiously walking in your direction.
I will address the crowd of people and tell them to make torches ready. We're proceeding through the dark. The spirits of the ancients welcome us.
And they give you looks like, oh god, what does that mean? A few of them have
Sounds
torches
really
on
scary.
them, and they
I'm gonna give a big old broad smile because at least 15 of them saw the spirits fighting on their side.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. The few that did see you fighting will be like, I think we should trust him. It'll be okay. And they assure those who you don't recognize and were found in the searching. James kind of walks forward and goes, I trust him. We should go. And they grab a couple of torches between them and they begin walking.
I'll stand at the top of the stairs, and as they walk by, just start lighting torches.
Okay. They'll gladly accept the light and head on down. You hear a few children are scared to go down into the dark tunnel, especially once they start hearing the whispers of the hymn.
Did I catch enough of the song in Dwarvish to understand it in common?
There's some rough translation spots, but you're pretty musically inclined, so you could definitely start singing it in common or understand it enough in common to know how to translate it.
Yeah, as the crowd starts going down, I'm actually going to start singing lightly, a low, mellow voice. Like when Thorin started singing
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing.
in The
Yes.
Hobbit. Just
Oh.
start singing the translation of common of the Dwarven song of Sanctuary.
Okay.
So these people can understand it, as they pass by.
They kind of give they get a sense of comfort with that. If you want to see if you do a really good job, you can do a performance check.
I can
Oh,
start to
gosh.
sing. I could start to sing along, and I'm pretty sure my performance is pretty decent.
Give me assist checked, because
We'll say around this time, Jack can come up and start singing, and you can kind of do the background music for him.
All right, I will. Sure.
you'll do the performance with me assisting you.
There you
Okay,
go.
Sounds good.
And nice.
Yeah, the two of you together do a really spot on job, and people actually like every once in a while you get a light clap. I mean, no one's like in the mood to celebrate heavily, so they'll give you a smile, and a lot of people will nod at you in appreciation of your attempt to calm them and the like. So
And
It's
yeah,
not a
during
song of celebration, it's a song of sanctuary.
the performance, I will like take one of the younger kids and put him up on my shoulders and kind of dance around with him. Just
My parents are dead.
Oh my god! I'm so sorry.
no,
Just to try
no.
and make him feel better.
The kid is a little nervous at first, but with the dancing and on your shoulders, he kind of cheers up a little bit, forgetting a little bit of what he's seen and what has happened. Just even if just for a moment. And his mother comes to you and says, "Bless your soul," and I will remember that for the future. Says the DM.
He makes a note. Oh, no, he doesn't.
I'm trying to be better about it. I'm going to make a note.
I think Nate just died, actually.
Next. Please keep
Well done, Joe. Well done.
in.
What just happened?
Never speak
Never
to
speak
me.
to my son again.
Oh man, yeah. Was it on that page? Yeah, God.
All right. And
Oh,
Once
so
I-
those. Oh, real quick, just a side note. Those of you who speak Dwarvish, you understand that the name Urdim just means tower. As the dwarves built inside of this great natural tower, they named it as such.
Subterranean tower. Gotcha.
Hey, go ahead, Doc.
So once I feel like most of the survivors are being led into the stronghold, I'm going to loot the bodies of what I can, and I would like to take both the Blackguard armor and the Champion's armor, and put it along with what was his name? The other guy's armor. Freaking Clayton's armor.
Oh,
And
Clayton.
and my intention is like I'll put them all in my bag, and my intention is to construct some kind of armor that would be a sign of, intimidation for any Templars who are thinking of fucking with us.
He's making chimera armor.
Yeah.
Do you have
it's
a
like
bag of
hybrid of
holding?
all those. What?
No,
Are
he's
you-
just ridiculously strong.
Yeah, but his bag can only carry so much, space-wise. So, I
So-
mean, he can do a lot of strapping and carry it around, but at the same time, you're gonna have to deal with that.
I'll do that.
Do a lot of
Clayton's
strapping
armor-
and be a strapping young lad.
Blackguard armor is 60, I'm guessing.
60, I missed what, pounds? Weight? Yeah,
Yeah.
they all have full plate, and full plate that weighs the same, so.
Okay.
I don't know, is that 60? I'm not totally sure the weight on that.
60 it is.
Okay.
Okay. I am good carrying wise. I also have my elk too. That's a good point. So anything that I can't carry, I'll put on my elk next to my sister.
Okay, that's fine.
Other than that, I will loot all of the knights and take all their amulets. Ask for assistance with taking
Believe
up their
Far
armor.
Traveler grabbed all the amulets.
Yep.
Okay, got it. And push any corpses into the body, or push any of the corpses into the fire, excluding the mom and the dad of Jekt. I will wait for Jekt, and yeah, I'll put those kind of like on the outside.
Are you building a fire?
I'm gonna put them in the pile of bodies, and then eventually I'm gonna light them on fire.
Okay, that's totally different because it's not easy to light a fire in a storm.
That's true.
Especially a large fire.
Okay, I will.
And if Kylan sees you try to start a fire on those bodies, she's gonna flip.
Fair. Okay, yeah. So that's my plan, and after that's done, I will help lead people into the sanctuary, and yeah, that's it.
Okay. Kylan, let's get to you because you kind of wandered off. You go around healing people. It's most of it's either too far, too gone, or it's not so bad. It just needs a couple of bandages or some slight salves that you have plenty of. Anything else that you're wanting to do?
Yeah, so I'm asking around for news about my druid friends, and
I did
you want to tell the party. You would tell the party.
Okay. So what I sent him was that his friends got here yesterday, the day before, the day of the first hangings, and noticing the incursion, they tried to stick up for the people, and were defeated in their attempt to protect some people, and were made an example of and burned at a stake. Because wood elves burn very well.
Like wood.
Darn tootin'.
Kylan's going to, keep going through things and trying to hold back tears as best she can. But every once in a while, hearing somebody talk about a lost loved one or something will just, let some fall out and keep people moving forward, trying to get them going to where they need to be. And then she'll grieve very horrendously and not controllably. Still not quite processing the loss of her daughter, and now everybody she seems to come into contact to.
She seems to be a little bit cursed at the moment. Though the people, upon hearing that they were your friends and that you sent them here to as a peaceful negotiation, they do have a new perspective of appreciation for that, as their last negotiators murdered a lot of them, about a quarter of the populace.
I'll anybody who speaks to me about it, I will tell in general to whoever is speaking about it that Chrysos will one day be a place where all are welcome. It is my mission.
I don't think they'll be so hot on re-inviting the Templars, just so you know.
Yeah, that they seem to understand what you want. At the same time, they don't seem to like the idea of letting Templars anywhere near them anymore. At least for a long time.
It will be a long time. A long time. But she is mostly just in an uncontrollable fit of grief.
Okay.
In fact, if everybody's taken care of, she'll actually go to the pile of bodies and clutch to the single friend she really truly made along the road. And start at digging a giant grave.
Where are you planning on digging this?
Wherever. Probably not directly in the middle of the city where they are, but like to give them a proper place to be buried.
I don't know, if she were a good druid, she'd find some sort of ergonomical place to put a big mass grave.
Not on the plateau. Is that really an option? The whole entire top of the plateau is covered in cobblestone or building, so you're likely going to have to take them down.
She'll definitely ask for somebody to help her take her friend down in with her.
Doc will help.
Not having any certain emotional attachment to any of the others, but so she won't personally want to carry any of them, but she'll want them to all have a proper place to be put to rest.
Okay. A couple of people have kind of taken it upon themselves to get the dead sorted, and trying to find the loved ones and taking them down the tunnel as gracefully as possible and as honoring as possible. I'm not sure the word. It's escaping me again. Words are hard. Respectfully as possible. Thank you.
Kylan's current greatest weakness of her character is death. That's why she attacked the gallows. It's why every time somebody dies, she flips.
It's a lot of death.
There's a lot of death for Kylan to be very upset about.
Does Kylan say this to Thok?
Yes. I just can't stand to see them be gone. That's why I wanted to rip those gallows to shreds.
With knowing how I knew Kylan's daughter and like the relationship with parents and stuff and how stuff like that, and Thok's gonna say, is it because of your daughter?
And Kylan will just go into an unravaged grief again without response.
I'm sorry.
I never thought twice about leaving her behind, and now I do.
And Thok's just gonna stay silent.
Okay.
Kylan is painfully aware that she brought the demise that Ellie faced upon her.
Will it bring you any kind of solace to know that she is not dead?
Oh, I know. That's something else I had to take care of. See, I will have to help her pass into the afterlife myself.
But if there's a way to bring her back, would you do it?
If there was a way, I would.
There may yet be. Don't lose faith.
Let us hope.
And I continue to help her out with stuff.
you see this girl we're carrying now. She met me on the road, and she helped me to gain contacts here in the city. And it just seems everything I touch dies.
No, that's not your fault. That's the Templar's fault. They're overbearing and zealous. And they've gone too far.
They have gone far too far. I don't really know how to roleplay somebody who doesn't really want to talk about it.
You stutter and stop talking at some
Yeah.
point, and then say you're done talking. Well, that's how I do it anyway.
Yeah. It doesn't do well for the story, though. But Kylan can't process all this. She's just refused for so long to process Ellie.
Sure.
Sometimes things come out all at once. That's a way to play it off, but that's up to you how you want to say and be.
Indeed.
The story will progress, and I'm sure eventually it will come out one way or another.
Yep.
All right.
So now what?
So you guys clean up the bodies. People have brought down the pile. Is anyone doing anything with the gallows?
If there's time, I'd like to wreck them.
Yeah, there's definitely enough time. You can just wail at them.
Yeah, sledgehammer or mole to the gallows.
You want some help?
You're already
Kylan's not going to
busy.
ask if he wants help.
That's true. So can Thoc see Far Traveler doing that?
Yeah, he's probably doing that around the same time you guys are messing with the corpses.
I'm gonna yell out, "Hey, Far Traveler, would you like some help from the villagers? They probably want this thing destroyed more than you do."
No, let them grieve.
Fair.
Hey,
Vengeance might be good for them, if anything.
Kylan will cast Shillelagh and take a whack and say, "This is my grief."
sorry, I had to step away for a minute. Why are we looking at that pop up? When did that come up?
Oh, that was just for you.
Oh, that was
Okay,
Oh
Okay.
shit.
cool. Where did that come from?
I was just kind of reminding you, and also just putting it in Roll20 for you to view, and you have the power to show it off or whatever you want, if it ever comes up.
Okay.
There's a villager or two who kind of runs up and gives the whole thing a kick. It's very easy to notice that the structure of the gallows itself was added on very recently. Kind of like these people are very proficient at setting up gallows. And that's what they did. So destroying them isn't actually that much of a task because you don't have to deal with the large platform itself. Because it's what they do is they put boxes under people and then they kick the boxes away and then the people fall. So they don't have to worry about creating a trapdoor or anything.
I'll leave the platform.
That's not what you said before.
Then I was wrong.
Destroy the gallows portion of it, but the platform can remain.
Okay. Retroactively changing. Yep.
Warping history.
We call this retconning.
Yes.
Okay. The gallows do fall.
At
Alright.
this point, I'm guessing most of the villagers are on the way down.
Most are either down there or on their way down. The pile is gone, though. Actually, they wouldn't be bleeding. There is a little bit of blood from those who fought back, rather than got hung.
I'll take up the rear and continue the song.
Okay. you head back down into the hall. Is everyone else going as well?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Uh, the dwarf Auric sits at his throne, a small smile on his face, but he's singing, so like kind of enjoying people joining him, even if they are in mourning. But he is singing to them.
In Dwarvish or Common?
He's singing in Dwarvish.
If he's still singing by the time I make it there, I will join him in song in Common, matching tune or matching melody though.
Okay. He'll give you a small a nod, and then he'll actually switch it up to common for everyone to understand. However, the chorus itself remains in Dwarvish. Once everyone gets kind of settled, he stands for the first time and addresses everybody. Welcome to my halls. Please relax and know you are safe here. And he gestures to a tunnel that leads east and downward. Housing is down that tunnel to the east. I would say there's the kitchens to the west here, adjusting to another tunnel. However, there is no food, as it does not last. There is drink, however, if you wish to partake. And with that, a ghostly mug appears in his hand, and he starts to drink from it.
Is it sufficient to take a short rest at this time?
You may.
Okay.
Okay.
Do it.
I am going to count the entire city of Chrysos as allies for this.
Oh.
Cool.
All right.
Honoring the bonds of family. Oh my god.
In this case, for flavor, I will allow you to also modify it to be the song of Sanctuary, the Dwarvish song. If you want to continue just that song.
My god. So yeah, if this song actually does pertain to friends and family, like at some point during the rest, Thok is going to gesture for Kylin and Jekt and Far Traveler all to kind of like join together and just sit there for a bit and appreciate what he has.
Kylun will reach a hand up toward the blue bubble.
These hit dice rolls, though.
Yeah.
Not going well.
I was like, are your dice broken? Jesus.
I will, like, we don't have to waste all this. I could just use a spell slot.
It's not a waste. If they don't get used, that's a waste.
Yeah.
True.
It's unlikely that you'll need. Well, you might need another rest, but we'll see. Who
YOLO.
knows?
Kylin is withholding, just taking the rest.
So Thok at some point is going to say to Far Traveler, well, we're all here, and if you want to tell your story, you can.
My story is very simple. I come from the Arathokap Mountains to make peace with the Templars, though that seems very unlikely with the behavior the Templars have shown to this point.
That's fair.
However, evil as the Templars may be in action, the mages are far worse.
The mages bring chaos to this world. The Templars an overbearing fist.
The mages are a soul devourer. I cannot let him live. live is the wrong word. Exist.
He's already a little bit dead.
To be
Yeah,
fair,
I got that.
To be fair, honestly, I don't know the crimes of the mages. I was
Did-
just following orders. I know that 50
Or
years
witness
ago.
to what they did to Ellie and Ugin.
Yes, but to be fair, we invaded their stronghold. I'm sure that if the Templar stronghold got invaded, they would meet with equally terrible force.
Any who defends this soul devourer will die.
That's true. All I'm saying is that I'm ignorant.
Well, thank you, Captain Thok.
You're welcome.
Lieutenant, actually.
I was replacing obvious with Thok.
Thank you, Lieutenant Thokvius.
Jack, do you have stuff to say?
Nothing that comes to mind. Just kind of want to be alone with my thoughts. And then I'll open a book that I've just kind of kept, and it was one of my grandfather's books.
So
And-
Go ahead.
And Matt, I don't know how you want me to work that, but we could say that symbol is on that book. Just kind of reading it, but I don't understand what it says. It's just a book that seems to have just like words that don't make sense in it that I took that my grandfather gave me.
Yeah, we can have that. That's fine.
Okay. And so it's just kind of a leather-bound book, but the leather is weird. It doesn't look like common leather is what I'm thinking, and then it has the symbol burnt into it.
Do I recognize that symbol?
That's another history check.
Okay. Also, are those languages, are they Orcish or Abyssal?
What language? The language in the book?
Yeah.
You don't know.
Okay.
You cannot read it.
Okay.
Okay.
The link is broken for me, just as a heads up.
What's up?
The image is not loading on my end. Just a heads up. So I haven't seen it personally, but
Oh,
I've
okay.
seen it.
Well,
Don't worry about it.
Far Traveler, this actually rings a bell. This is a symbol that you've seen before in the Arathokab Mountains, carved into some stone near the center of the mountains itself. However, it's never meant anything or led to anything, so it's hard to say what it was.
And this is on Jack's book.
Yes.
Well, I get the feeling I'm supposed to play it up, but Far Traveler literally has no idea what the connection is, so... I don't know if I would actually mention it.
That's up for you to decide.
I'm saying I wouldn't mention it.
Something to keep in mind, though, for the future, maybe.
Okay. And after a few minutes of Jack reading his book, I'm gonna gesture for the party to join together and be like, Jack, there's something up the surface that is there if you wanna see it.
Well, what do you mean?
Just follow me.
Okay.
You take him back up to the surface?
Yep.
Do you intend for the party to go? Because you just said you gathered the party.
Nah, just me and Jack.
Okay.
I think the gather the party thing was more of
That's the yeah.
a moment to be together and then
Yeah.
move on.
So
We miss you, Flecken.
As you emerge onto the surface, the storm is letting up and the sunlight breaks through the clouds lightly in some
and
places.
also, like, I didn't say this, but is it okay if the elk is following me with Vola on its back?
Sure.
Okay, cool. And I lead Jack to within 30 feet of his parents' corpses. And I say, just real quick, what were their names?
Hold on, I have that written down. Give me a second.
I wrote it somewhere. I just don't remember where.
Yeah, I have it written down. Archibald and Yvonne.
Archibald is your mom?
Archibald is my father, and Yvonne.
To be fair, those are kind of odd, like, names I can't tell the gender of.
I could
Really?
immediately. Archibald,
I had no struggle
Well,
with that one.
Yvonne.
Well, I have a fucking intelligence of 8, so.
Yes, yes, you do, and so does Thog.
Alright, so I say, well, they're there if you want to have a word with them. And then I put my hand on his shoulder and leave.
Just gonna stand there. I don't really have anything to say except voicing how upset I am at how they could do something like this to the civilians here. Living quarters. Yeah. And instead of really, this being about them, I kind of honor the villagers, their deaths more than my own blood, and just kind of leave them there. Don't really do anything.
And then cast fireball.
I could
That's good.
I could light them on fire. Their bodies can't do any more damage, cause plague or anything, or kind of symbolizing just memories erased.
I miss that. Are you actually catching them on fire?
Yes, because I also think it would be fairly poetic for them to be sent out with magical fire.
All right. Cast campfire under them. Bonfire. Looted, their bodies have been. So you watch as your parents burn away in front of you, feeling disconnected and a little bit satisfied.
Does he though, Matt? Does he really?
For the moment.
That is my interpretation of what you're feeling. So there you go. Disagree if you wish.
I can't see anything.
Then refresh roll 20.
Okay.
And then after that, I will make my way back down to the hall.
Okay. For the most part, everyone has taken up King Auric on his offer and have gone to the resting quarters. A few of them went and grabbed something to drink. It's been a long few days for them. But for the most part, they go down and they rest, even though it is only midday.
Kylan's going to exit the tunnel and go check out the pulley system or whatever that they had.
Okay. So a single arm, wooden arm, extends over the side of the plateau, but the pulleys are broken off, the ropes are severed, or missing.
I
Anything?
am not experienced in fixing something like this.
It would take a team of people and rope.
Okay. I'm concerned about getting these people the supplies they need.
They always have the side path, but they also have to build a new arm because it's a double arms pulley system, and one of the arms is totally broken off. And the platform is shattered below, so it's likely that they severed it from up above, like from one arm, and then as it fell, it took the other arm out of the ground.
Okay.
Is James available for conversation down here?
Yeah, he's still checking on everybody.
I'm going to approach him. So, lad, you fancy yourself a leader, do you?
I try to be, and the situation kind of requires it.
Well, for the time being, there's security, but there is no sustenance. If you fancy yourself a leader, perhaps you should come together as a community and set some teams to scavenge the surface for food.
Good idea. I will do so. I'll grab those who are feeling a little better than the others that morn. Any other suggestions? You seem to be fairly wise when it comes to leading, or at least surviving.
Tend to those who have been emotionally damaged, lest they lash out in anger at anything.
I'll keep that in mind. And the slight nod, and he walks away to gather some people to find food. Oric, the ghostly visage, he kind of walks, kind of glides. It's a little bit of a mix. It's very weird to watch.
He's wearing Heelys.
Yeah, pretty much. He approaches you, and you are a fair leader. Much has happened to these people. It's not often that these halls are used for mourning. It's more often that we use it for celebration. I always find that sometimes finding something to celebrate is good. Maybe after an appropriate amount of time of rest and peace, yes, but something. And with
It's
that, he
not.
kind of floats away. Unless you have something to say.
Okay. I was gonna say, it's not the way of my people to mourn the dead. It's just a transition.
Our people, we also did not mourn as much. We did a small ceremony, at least. And for the families, we always gave a little something, but we were never truly gone.
There is rumors of one who has made sure that the souls of the dead are not going where they need to be.
This is a heinous crime.
Of that, you and I are of the same mind.
The souls belong to linger if they wish, and to pass on if they want, and not to be trapped. Who does this?
It's, what's his name? Archmage something drawn. I don't see it.
Grand Mage?
Galindon Ophandrus.
That old fool still walks the surface, I see.
Above it, so they say.
He
He's taken,
always... Good.
he's taken refuge in Miyakaseo. They say the city flies.
I'm not familiar with Miyakasel, but floating cities are not so far-fetched. He always sought to find immortality, and if what you say is true, and I am inclined to believe you. It seems that he has found a way to at least prolong his mortal life. As he would be around 1200 years old at this point.
Forgive such a blunt question, but how old are you?
I'm about... Oh, time is lost in these tunnels. I'd say 900 years old. I died quite a few years past, and I found myself still king of my people. Though, after the cataclysm, they too passed. Or moved on.
Well, it's my intention to move on and find this soul devourer and destroy him, so I will not be able to secure the safety of these people personally. How long can they stay with you?
They are safe. These people and their kin to follow will be safe. But I cannot say anything else about outsiders.
Well, that's all I can ask of you then. We appreciate the hospitality you've shown.
I wish to see these halls once more filled with life. Even if it is mournful at that moment.
After a rest, I suspect we'll be departing, so I'm going to go see my companions.
May your travels take you far.
I'll give him a knowing smile at that. Walk away.
He'll give a pretty traditional dwarvish goodbye. And then he'll take his ghostly pint and continue drinking. Which only seems to be in his hand at opportune moments. Which is usually.
Super convenient. I'll
Yes.
head up to meet with the others.
Okay. I believe Jack and Thok are actually heading back down at this point.
So it's gonna sound irrelevant, but I want to do a history check on something.
You may.
I would like to try to see if I remember the origin of the Templar organization and how it was founded and how they rebelled against the mages.
Okay, go ahead and do it at advantage.
At advantage? Okay.
Thank God.
And he has a pretty good bonus.
+2.
There we go.
Okay.
There. Okay.
So, buckle up. 50 years passed. There was... Well, actually, many years past this. 50 years when it began. About 75 to 100 years ago, a great cataclysm befell the world, which is fairly well known. However, the cause is speculated and not totally reliable. However, there is myth that it was a few monstrous beings with great, powerful artifacts that have been long since lost to time. Well, since that point, and before that even, they were lost to time. And to survive, a organization was able to create these floating islands, and people lived peacefully together for quite a while. However, as time went by, uh, um, a hierarchy was created that the higher up on these islands, as the islands were floating in a long stack, not like around a certain area, but tall. Um, these islands, uh, as they were, the higher up you were, the better off you were, and the people on the ground level began to feel oppressed and revolted. Uh, these people found that the reason to that uh, that separated them from the people above them was the access and knowledge to magic, and someone created the first anti-magic spiral. And in doing so, they were able to counteract a lot of the magic, and eventually they made it to the top of the floating islands, where they took down the leader. I have a little bit more information on this, but I'll keep talking. They took down the leader and finally severed the magic from every floating island except for one, and that was the very top one which they were on. These islands, Cassel is what it's called now. Back then it was called something else, which I'm pulling up now. These islands collapsed and created part of what is known to be Arath Okab Mountains, which is why these mountains are known for their strange properties of floating islands. That is the basic story and kind of what is within your knowledge. See if I can't find a better description. The highest island was called Dias Dynami, and the leader, I don't think I named him. So, oh yes, Deus. I was high chairman. Deus.
Symbolism.
Yeah, it's possible that he named himself that.
Got it.
Yeah.
So I asked this because I have an idea, and I've noticed a pattern, and I will say this to the group. I've noticed a pattern in the past 100 years from what I know about history. In the midst of conflict and struggle and chaos, toils and tribulations, there seems to be some kind of force or organization that's formed in response to counter that thing. Today, I have seen something special. I've seen death. I've seen destruction. Special does not mean good, but it does mean something to these people. I believe that this war just simply breeds catastrophe for most in between Templars and mages. These people, they were not mages, they were not Templars, they were simply families going along their day-to-day lives when they were killed. I believe that now is an opportune time for a tipping point. And Chrysos could be the beginning of another new organization that can topple both the Templars and the mages and create a new era.
You know, Thog, you said you were ignorant. You finally showed some wisdom.
I took some history classes, and I kind of put the two together now.
Perspective.
I'm saying that there is a tipping point, and I think all it takes is a little push.
Well, finally you show some initiative. If it wasn't you, it was gonna be me.
So what do you advise?
Push.
Push where?
Against the Templars, against the mages. Strike out for the commoners.
Fuck both. Fuck, not the commoners. Fuck the Templars. Fuck the mages. Fuck those extremists.
I sent 2. It didn't work very well.
But you are the power of one, and I'm sorry for that we were not very supportive in our cause. But now an entire city has been ransacked. And I believe once word catches out, people will fear the Templars. But and the mages as well. But if there are forerunners telling people of this crisis, we might be able to get some supporters of our cause. Not sure what the cause is. It's definitely neither of them.
You're certain the cause is tipping Templars and mages off their high seats.
Yes, but
That's all they need.
that's true.
Word has already been sent out to my contacts that each have overreached, but nothing of the news of what has happened here.
Well, we now have people who have nothing more to lose below us. I'm sure they would support this cause, for it is a worthy cause to be fighting for, to overthrow both Templars and mages.
Perhaps. Go ahead.
Would all be welcome, magic users included?
Of course. You are a magic user.
I
I'm a
am.
magic user.
Perhaps you could go persuade them to take up arms.
Share train.
Maybe.
Shoot.
It's a Dragon Thomas the Train.
Perhaps they should give them a day.
I agree. But, and maybe perhaps in that time we can get a few things done. We can perhaps heal my sister, and I can get a blacksmith and see if they can get us some gear for our travels and our pursuits and our goals. And I feel like this organization we make should have a name.
I am not so sure it should have a name.
You fly under a nameless banner?
It's the only way to ensure that they don't rise up above anyone else, isn't it?
They're usually labeled rebels.
Well, they're already the mage rebels, so...
No, they are labeled mages.
It is the Mage Rebellion, but
Shh. DM, don't ruin it.
it is the Mage Rebellion, so... Should we just call it the People?
we could go real dark and say.
What?
you cut out there.
Oh, we could go real dark and say it's the New Order.
New Order?
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
No, disregard.
I feel something golden would be of interest.
Jesus.
I may or may not have clue into future of this city.
Well, we can work on a name later. For now, we have an idea. And sometimes ideas are all that matter. Ideas, I think, are what matter the most.
Let it be known that I don't intend to linger around Chrysos for long, so we should complete our business before proceeding. We have other tasks that drastically need addressed.
We did come to Chrysos to try to heal Vola, and I want to at least try that before we leave.
We'll need
Yes.
at least a night of rest. Ormer is completely exhausted.
I understand that.
He's already out
And
cold.
yeah.
No, it's not, Matt. We have a giant rampaging elemental to deal with, and the Templars are trying to break the world. We don't have a loose timeline.
Oh, I was
I think
talking
you mean
about the overarching whole world timeline. Because
Yeah, I know.
There is a future where this is called the Golden City.
Our traveler does not agree with the DM's assessment.
Also, none of us are future seers.
Right.
There is also a future where people get levels in prophecy. Literally future seers.
Whatever.
Infinite
Yeah,
amount
whatever.
of futures.
Disregarding your weird stuff.
My meta talk.
Yeah. I understand you are in a hurry, but I care about my sister. I care about her being healed. And I think that we might be able to get some pretty good gear out of this city for our future adventures.
Adventures, dickhead.
What?
Our future adventures.
Whatever. You know what I mean.
Endeavors?
Sure.
Much more proper word. Thank you, Far Traveler. I'll just mess with you.
Whatever it is, we should make haste.
Agreed.
Well,
We do have to get to.
we do need to make haste.
We have to get to Calamance as soon as we can. So
Yes.
agreed.
All right. We came here to fix my sister, so I believe we should do that too.
Wait, you fix
I mean,
orcs?
heal my sister.
I didn't know orcs were actually dogs.
Shut the fuck up.
She has been with a knife a time or two.
Wait, you say does Kylan say that?
What?
If
No.
you did, I would just kind of give her like a glare.
Punch you right in your stupid mask.
That's why you
Kylan
guys are
doesn't
still
have a-
masked.
Kyler doesn't have a mask.
Except for Kyler.
Her friends died before she got one.
I can make it sad. Oh, never mind.
Actually, Kyle, I would really like a mask. Can we say they gave it to somebody else who's still alive now?
Nope.
And they crafted it on their
no.
way.
Nope.
Go find those
Stock.
crucified, burnt bodies, and you'll find your
Stock.
mask.
Intends on not wearing this mask too much longer after this.
Yeah, you've got a big old red-eyed helmet to wear now.
Hell yeah, I do. All right.
I did come with the promise of trying to heal your sister. We will do that.
Thank you. And I think we should pool a lot of our energy into that, and I can see if I can scrounge up some blacksmiths and see if they can change the armor that I have to be something that is intimidating and will strike fear into the hearts of mages and Templars alike.
Let's rest with the survivors and reconvene tomorrow.
I agree. Okay.
Okay.
Anything
So as you guys are talking, people are letting you be together and whatever. However, you do see some people, as Far Traveler had suggested, moving around the towns, scrounging for food. If you guys are noticeably done talking, James will actually come up to you like, we found a large source of food that we could use some help bringing down, if you wouldn't mind.
What'd you say? I was reading Jack's stuff.
James comes up and says that there's a large source of food that he could use help bringing down.
Oh, I can help with that. And I bring my elk along with Vola.
Is Vola
So,
invisible still?
Talk.
Yes.
I do not hear me. Is Vola invisible still?
No, I'm out of spell slots.
Okay.
And yeah.
James will kind of give her a glance back at you. Is she all right? Does she need healing?
she needs more than healing.
I've
Oh.
given her all the healing that you could possibly imagine. She's beyond healing.
She's not beyond healing, don't you say that.
She's beyond methods of known healing. She needs extraction.
Yes. Right now, currently, she has anti-magic tattoos etched into her. We've managed to extract some of it, but not all of it.
Oh, I don't know if she's still alive, but Agatha
She's
was. Oh, sorry, not your sister. Someone I know, a healer in town who's been known to work uh, miracles. Her name's Agatha, but miracles sound like magic, so if you can find her, she might be useful, but that's if she's alive.
Did you manage to see her down below?
No, I haven't seen her since shortly after the Templars came.
Okay.
It sounds like we won't be having time to help you. Sounds like we need to sort ourselves out. You should probably organize more people.
Okay, it's all right. We have enough people. It's just time at this point.
Does she have a usual hiding place that you know of?
Uh, her shop's in the northwest. A little bit out the outskirts of the occupied city.
Kylan turns into a giant eagle.
Kaylin, give them the horses before we depart.
What?
Give the villagers the horses.
Well, okay. She undoes her giant eagle.
I mean, I would have said that shortly, but I mean, you never give anybody time to say
No.
anything.
So she does things like that. Yeah. Okay. I don't have actually any right now. Do I?
We have the regular horses from the cart that you trained.
The two
Well,
horses you
handled.
guys brought with you.
I casted a conjure animals for horses. I thought we hadn't taken the ones from the cart.
We absolutely took the ones from the cart.
Oh, I casted conjure animals for goats. That's right. Never mind.
Yeah, that was to get up the hill. The horses are
I
still down
changed-
below.
Okay. I will go get the horses.
Okay, that will take a little bit of time.
Thought, get your sister safe somewhere safe. Jack, if you're still functional, help me find this Agatha woman.
I will help Far Traveler.
I would like to actually help find them because I want Agatha's help like now.
You don't think your sister's body needs rest?
She's on the horse and under the blanket. She'll be okay.
Your
Also, I don't.
funeral.
I do not. I do not want her leaving my side.
That's why I said you should take her somewhere to rest.
Okay, fine. And I go downstairs.
Okay.
So, has James given us a description of this woman?
Yeah, he says, she's small, not human small, old woman with long gray hair, usually in a big bun, like really big. You'll know what I mean when you see her. And
I'll say Saya James is yes, as he's giving the description. She's not a hag, is she?
no, it's Agatha. She's been here as long as I can remember. Agatha.
Agatha, yeah. So that book that I grabbed off the table, flipping through it, do I find James in there, and are there any notes on him?
James? No. However, you do find a Fredrickson near the end. And it says next to it, Mayor.
Ooh.
Stephen. with a PH.
Steven.
Steven.
Steven. Yes.
I'm going to continue helping if you need anything else from me. I'm only in a few places at this point.
Look out for your people. That's what you need to do.
That's what I'm doing. Again, thank you so much for your help. And he leaves with that to gather more food.
He asked us to help him carry food, and we all went and did other stuff.
I told him he was on his own.
Doc's
That's
gonna
true,
help
that's
him
true.
with that. Like if it's not too far away from.
It's a little ways out. If
Whatever.
you're
I'll help
considering it when you get down there, someone is going to offer to take care of Ola for you, but
Nope.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, I'm gonna help them and protect them if they run into anything.
You can help downstairs with the putting away and such, at least.
Okay, sounds good.
Stag is smart enough, you could tell it to go help. Once
Sure.
you're back down.
Yes, I will do that.
Okay. It speeds up the process quite a bit. Oh, and a Martha next to Steven.
Oh, yeah. I have a feeling this book is not. I don't like this book anymore.
It's a book of bad. Okay. I think that is a good spot to end tonight's session. Not as much action as other sessions, but pretty deep.
It was pretty good. Yeah.
So a little slow, but a lot got done.
That's okay.
It's a book of mad.
It's a sad, bad, mad book.
Are you gonna ask the question?
Yeah. Hey, we took down a lot of Templars. A lot of them. You know what we should do? We should totally go up a level.
Let me think about that real quick. Let's see. You're level 8.
It's been 6 sessions since we leveled.
I doubt it.
No, it legit has.
You actually looked that up?
There's a record we can go check if it's in doubt, DM.
No, you're right. You're right. I remember because session 20 was when all that stuff happened. I said level up. Yeah.
And this is session number 26, right?
Yes, it is.
Yep.
I'm just joking with you anyways. I was going to give it to you guys. Yes, level up to level 9.
Okay.
Yes.
Woot.
I'm gonna start conjuring my own fucking hags.
Heck yeah. So that Jecht and I can burn them to death, right? Instead of elves.
What to do with hags and what to do with wood elves. Burn. They burn like firewood. Alright. Yes. Go ahead and get to level 9. Yeah.
Oh yes. That is a good hit dice roll.
There you go. Best one all day. Thank you guys for playing. It was
How was that?
a deep session. It's not bad
I
today.
agree.
And
It wasn't that good.
I think a lot got done, even if it seemed like nothing got done. So,
Oh no, dude! It felt
That
like a
was
lot got done.
That was a roleplay session that was real good.
okay. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. It's what I love about D&D is it's roleplay. So, I like combat, but I love the roleplay. So again-
Roleplay without one of the party members.
Oh, yeah. Thank you guys so much for playing. Thank you all for watching. And as always, stay classy.
Good night.
Night.
Bye.